Hey guys, welcome back to Shapr3D. So I just had dinner and I really want a popsicle, but I don't have access to one right now. And I decided to draw one. So we're gonna draw a line and then make circles on the ends because we're gonna draw the stick that we need. And let's make that exactly 10, so that it's identical on both sides. After we do that, we simply copy over the line. Make sure you select copy, and then another option is we can mirror it over since we have a center line to work with here. All right, now all that's left to do is extruding it by selecting all the closed sketches. And we're gonna do just 1 millimeter on this side because we want to center it. And for that, we need to hide the sketch and then go ahead and make it 2 millimeters from this side. Once that's done, we just need to hide it so it's not in the way. But before that, you know me, I like to work with colors. Let's make it look like a wooden stick, just so we can have that reference for us, image-wise. It just feels better to work with it like that. Moving on, we hide the popsicle stick. Now we need to draw our actual popsicle. And there's many ways to do this, but just go ahead and sketch so that the sketch appears again, or you can click the eye. And then we sketch a square in this case. Like I said, one of many ways. But in this case, we're going to sketch a rectangle. Not a square, but a rectangle. And we're going to go ahead and extrude that, just like we did with the popsicle stick. And because we didn't delete the older sketch, we obviously had to select those two. But let's go ahead and hide the sketch again and then double it again so it's in the center. And I actually want this to be a red popsicle, and we're going to make it slightly transparent so that we can kind of see that it's a popsicle, juicy. And let's go ahead and make this a little bit thicker because 12 millimeters seems like just a little too thin. And let's make it 15. And what we can do now is use the scale tool by selecting just the edges. We don't need the faces, just the edges. And in this case, uniform. And we're going to do 0.8. Let's do 0.9. That'll make it look a little bit better. And for the bottom, we want to do something similar, except in this case, we don't want the whole thing to move like that. We don't want the sides to move out. We just want the front and the back face. So we need to make a non-uniform scale by selecting those edges and pulling out, and now we have a wider bottom part, but it's identical on both sides since we selected both edges. All right, moving on from that, we can go and fillet the edges to make it look slightly more realistic. And I forgot to unselect the bottom. Let's go ahead and unselect the bottom and redo that. Just select the top pieces there because we want to make those slightly different. So 10 at the top and slightly smaller at the bottom by making it 5 millimeters here. And that just makes it look more natural for some reason to me. I don't know. But let's go ahead and just select both of those faces and then select the chamfer fillet tool to make it easier so we don't have to select all of them. Once we have that, we basically have a solid popsicle. But if you remember, as a kid, we got those really cheap popsicles that had those wedges in them. I'm assuming from the manufacturing process, we can add those. But let's go ahead and first subtract the stick and then change the color back so it's uniform, because otherwise it would leave the brown on the faces that it subtracted. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on and make those little wedges just for the fun of it, so you can see the process of kind of how you can add something to something that supposedly is already done. And what we need to do is offset to whatever size we want, just so we can kind of reference it, And in this case, 10 millimeter looks pretty good. And I'm going to extend that line down, and also the top one. And watch out, I'm actually my hand kind of slipped on the iPad there, so watch your hand when you're doing this. Just undo when you mess up. Slide it up again for reference. So we have that extended thing, so it's not stuck inside. And then we're going to just draw a circle on the bottom. And the size, honestly, it's kind of up to you. I'm just going to make it look as realistic as possible based on what I remember these are. I actually bought these like a couple weeks ago for my kids at Winco, but definitely not 75. I think probably like around 8 or 7 would probably look the best. But now we go ahead and select it, and we just rotate it by 90 degrees. And we have to test to see if this looks good. So at first, instead of making all 4 at once, we're going to go ahead and extrude it just to see what it looks like, if it's in the right place. And it does follow the line, but it's kind of too straight for me. So what we need to do is go back and just rotate that just slightly maybe like 5 or 2.5 degrees. And let's see how that looks. So we extrude that, and I don't like it. It's a little bit sideways. Let's do 2 degrees. I think that's gonna look better. All right, now that we have that, we extrude it, and I do like that. So now we just undo so we can replicate the circle. We're gonna go ahead and just mirror it over on the axis plane, and then select both of them and mirror it over again to another axis plane. And if you don't find it in the little menu, it's probably up there. Just sometimes it moves depending on the situation, so just keep that in mind. And that's the wrong plane. But yeah, now that we have all 4 of them, just go ahead and select the circles, and we just pull those straight up. It's a piece of cake. And we do want to fillet those, so we select those edges, and we're going to use that chamfer fillet option again, so we don't have to select any edges. And then just do 2 just like the surroundings that we did. Now it looks just like a legit popsicle. If you remember, I actually really want one right now. I just had a whole bunch of saliva appear out of nowhere. But yeah, this is pretty much it. The only final step I would do is let's add some flavors. You know, I love flavors. My personal favorite was probably the blue one, but let's go ahead and just copy those over with the pattern tool, and we're going to make a couple different ones. So we have those lined up, and then we go to visualizer, and since we already have a copy of that, we just select the different colors, and it's already transparent for us. So go ahead and change the colors as necessary, as whatever you like, and comment down below which flavor was your favorite, if you've had these when you were a kid. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, we can get some popsicles together sometime. All right? I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
Here at Shapr3D, our goal is to inspire and empower you to create your own amazing projects. Please support our work so that we can keep doing it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to see more.